Okay, the purpose of this video is to show you how to make a flower pen. The idea is that you can make several of these, put them together in a bouquet for a Mother's Day gift or a gift for someone in your life. Okay, the way this works is first you have to pick your flowers and cut them off. But these flowers have a wire in them, so you do not want to use scissors. Never use regular scissors to do this because it'll hurt them. It'll like dent the metal. Or it'll hurt you because you won't go and you'll hurt yourself. So, wire clippers or wire cutters. Always use these. Okay, so what you want to do, I'm going to take this one. So you just go ahead and clip one off. It needs to be, I don't know, about an inch. Some people like to put, have it be really long. I find that annoying. When you hold the pen, you don't want to have a piece of wire on the pen. That would be annoying. So what you're going to do is cut it with an inch or so. And then, I'm going to get rid of this. The way that you attach these is with floral tape. Floral tape is, actually, I have no clue what this is. It's a tape that is not sticky when you touch it, but when you stretch it just a little bit, it sort of breaks the surface, and it will, if you stretch and press it onto something, it will stick to it and stick to itself. So what that means is that there's a method to putting this on the pen. You can't just wrap it like you would ribbon, because you can see it won't stick. Like if I, wrap this up and try to pull, it comes off. But if I hold it with one finger and stretch it a little bit and then wrap it tightly, takes a second to get going. Oops. So you wrap it a few times and then you start pulling and wrapping, pulling and wrapping, pulling and wrapping. When you do that and you get it going, it will stick to itself. And all I'm doing in this is pulling it tight and rolling. Yeah. Pulling it tight and rolling. And doing that, you can get it to stick. And it actually feels kind of waxy when you do it. Now, if you pull really hard, it'll break. So you have to find that balance between pulling it so that it, and when you have it in your hand, try it. You can pull it, it changes texture. So you have to get a balance between pulling it enough to change the texture and pulling it too hard and breaking it. So it might take a few times to get used to it. Okay, let me take this off. So here's the basic concept. I like to start at this end, and you do want to kind of be aware, put the cap on, and kind of look at where it is. Let's see. It's above this little cap part. So if you really want, you could mark it with something, but just be aware, you're only going to want the tape to go down as far as the cap. And there is a way to check that along the way. But we're going to start at the tip. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it around. Actually, I'm just going to wrap it loosely one and then pull and turn, just until it starts to go, or it starts to stick. Then I'm going to put the flower, let's see if you can see what I'm doing, just so that the tip of the flower is at the end of the pen. And then I'm going to continue to wrap it, except this time over the stem and the pen together. And while I'm doing this, let me put it this way, I'm pulling and turning, pulling a little bit and turning a little bit. And once you start turning at an angle, for example, I'm turning this a little bit towards the top. As I pull and turn, it starts to go at an angle towards the top. Once I get to the top of the pen, you can see that, then I'm going to change directions and I'm going to pull and turn and start heading back down the pen. Now, we're going to go down the pen and back up, so if you miss a spot that's kind of weird, you can go ahead and leave it because we're going to come back. Pull this in a little bit. If you wanted to do this in one go, then at this point I would turn back up and make it go around itself, or I would just unroll a little bit and make sure I go back over that area. I'm not going to bother too much with it right now. All right, so I'm pulling it tight, not enough to break it, but enough to stretch it. and spinning down as I go. Now once I get towards the end, I might want to do a cap check and see how far I need to go. I think that's probably pretty good. Now, I'm at a weird angle, but that's okay. I'm going to stretch, and I'm just going to go ahead. It's going to bulb out a little bit right there, but I'm just going to go ahead and go straight across and then angle up over that little bubble that I created and pull tight. And that sort of makes it flatten. And then I'm going to tighten and turn, or not tighten, but pull it and turn until I go back up. Now this doesn't have to stay attached. If you have more than one person, you could take a length of this to share this. Because if you run out, it will stick over itself. You can always just start with a new piece. Okay, tighten and turn all the way up. Now, once you get to the top again, so I've covered it fully, you can either break it or you can use scissors. But you continue to tighten and turn until you get to the very end and you try to pull it to where it's all stretched, and then it will stick to itself. If you notice, I don't know if you can see how it's got that little teeny bit? That one you just have to pull at the end a little bit and then smooth it out. And there you go. You have a flower pen. Now, by itself, this is cute, but it's not really a full gift. Our goal will be to make 3 of these, and then we'll also cover how to wrap it like it is wrap it in paper and maybe some twine, and put like a Happy Mother's Day or something like that on it. We could also do Happy Birthday if your family doesn't do Mother's Day, or any other holiday that someone in your life you think might like these. Now, there are a few advanced methods. Let's say, for example, that at this point, you did only want to do 1 flower, or you make 3 and you'd like to add more. You could, if you want, always add the leaves as well. And the way you do that, these ones don't always have metal. So, in fact, a lot of times they just come off, except not that one. No, these ones are stuck pretty good. Okay, so you are going to need something to cut. Typically the leaves these I know for sure don't have metal in them, but you know what? It's better just to use the wire clippers just in case, because you don't want to mess up your scissors. So we're just going to clip off a leaf. In fact, let's do 2. Let's be all fancy. So what you can do is you can add to this. Let's say I'm thinking that it would look good with 2 leaves like that. So what you can do, get yourself some more tape. Near the top, go ahead and start a piece by stretching and turning. It's green. Go. Okay, then I'm going to stick one of the leaves where I want it to be, and then wrap the tape around it. This one it's a little more difficult because, as you can see, there's not much to hold on to. So I usually kind of just push the leaf against it, go over it. It's a little finicky, no doubt, but it can be done. Sometimes what you need to do, if it's really short like this one, you can either cut off part of the leaves or just kind of squish it in there so that the tape goes around part of the leaf as well, just to get something to, grab onto. There we go. So it makes the leaf a little shorter, but you can still see it. All right, now I wanted to add 2, so I'm gonna, now that this one is kind of on there, I'm gonna put this one on the other side. And try to get the tape around it. There we go. That's too low. So if you get it in the wrong spot or it starts to shift on you, just move it up, take the tape off, or unravel it and move on. There we go. Okay. I'm going to go down a little farther just because it's much easier to end it on like a flat surface as opposed to this bumpy stuff. So this time I'm just going to tear it. Okay. And then finish it off. And now we have one that has leaves. Totally personal preference whether you add the leaves. You can kind of arrange them from there. Now, depending on what other parts are on the thing, you could add, for example, you could put one of these little buds on there. That might be cute. But for the most part, honestly, you just need the flower. The leaves are a little extra. But hey, maybe you're in the mood for advanced methods. Regardless, your challenge today is to try to create one of these. Good luck.